So it's time to continue working on the OpenStreetMap streaming project. Um, Earlier, I was working a little bit further south of here on the Myanmar side of the border, and I discovered there's this road and this stream that weren't mapped, and I followed them back to the source, which was here inside China. And so, kind of at the same time, I'd like to work on the stream and the road connecting it to other residential areas. One thing that we also see here that I'll do first is we can add some water areas here. So quickly fill those in. If you don't have something that like completely covers an area, there's like this middle arrow that you can drag and fill in the rest. And in this case, we'll just say water. There's just a tag that's very simple like that. And here you can see the stream. Let me make it a little bit more accurate in terms of the join with the other stream that I'm going to be drawing. So I click the line tool up on the top and then start drawing. At this point, it doesn't know that I'm going to tell it to be a stream. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to make a bridge there at some point. So yeah, let me just first go ahead and select that this is a stream. And it can tell there's two things wrong. One is I need to reverse the direction because I know that this flows into the stream, the larger stream that I started with. And the second thing is on this road, I can click Add a Bridge. And the bridge that they've automatically placed is too small. So I'm going to select this node to where it looks like the bridge starts and ends here and here. Now right click on the node at the end and can continue going, and it remembers the direction of the stream now, so it's going in the right place. Here we can see some of the road connections, and that's going to be our cue for getting the road to follow that follows the stream south to other towns. And let's also go ahead and surround these with residential area tags. As I mentioned before, you could go through and label these in more detail, like individual buildings. I personally avoid doing that. There's a little tree cover here, so I can't directly trace the road. We switched over to Bing Maps, and here, I don't know if it's different, like color values or different seasons or something, but sometimes switching the base map makes it easier to see. This is the road underneath those trees. Click in the middle of that line so we can have this branch off and go to the other group of houses. Try and make sure that goes through these guys. All right. Another thing you could do is you could label some of this farmland. This is for example, this has all of the terraces on it, on the centering it now. I've realized you can't see my cursor. But that has some terraces, and then the riverbed above it has some farmland on it when it isn't like overflowing with water or anything. Let me quickly patch this. I guess I must have just done that. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue these. I guess if I think about it, there's. Let me quickly switch back to the current maps. Oh, that explains the difference. It's unclear where this riverbed is in the present day, so I'll move it to there because that seems to be at least mostly like a drainage area in both cases. And I was just noticing also this road has kind of, you can see from the shadow, it kind of, one goes over here and one part splits off and also goes downstream. What's up with this one? We continue the stream. Continue this road on the west half. There might be a fork down there, but let me just make sure everything's okay over here. I think this should be also a residential marked area. Continue the stream. Yeah, there is a fork in that road. Let me do the stream and then we'll catch up. Escape to get out. Click here. Can't tell what kind of road this might be. I think there's something really, based on the shape of everything, I feel like there's a really strange like angle or something to the satellite imagery that I'm looking at. Again, that might have been why the Bing imagery was so helpful, but just the way the road curves look, I feel that there's some kind of angling to everything. So this goes through here, but then it kind of peters out. I don't really see anything distinct after the end of this. Like there's a clear road up to this point, and then maybe it disappears into the forest here. Bing, help me out. What did that look like over here? All right, yeah. Since nothing else is around, it looks as though this connects over to here. Okay, here's another medium-sized, larger kind of village, still on the Chinese side. Let me just make sure this is in a residential area box. Hold on. Come back to this. Okay, this is a residential area. Okay, Maxar imagery basically agrees. And then it shows this road continuing onward. You can see a car here. It's interesting. Right. And this. Now definitely I'll do a stream where I just see how long it takes for me to focus on one area at a time. Not this one, but next time. Me doing individual buildings. It's interesting how everything kind of clusters, or there's kind of one main road, so everything clusters around that. Let's go back to where we were before we got off on this whole tangent. Right. We'd split off from this road and this stream. So let's keep them going. Maybe they'll meet up, you know. That'd kind of be a clean way of wrapping this up. One thing I've noticed while streaming is there's kind of a lag. Like I can click all of the points that I want there to be on the road, and sometimes it'll take some time for that to be reflected on the map. Oh, this is good. So I think this is something I was working on off the stream yesterday. I had found this group of villages, but then I had nothing to connect them to. And now we do. Now we're connected to the rest of the road network. Make sure. And so this border is actually between two different regions of China, Mangxin and Lanshan, Lahu Autonomous Region, I want to say, based on the OpenStreetMap tags there. So let's backtrack and bring the stream with us. Here we are. to catch up. One of the reasons I follow the stream as well as the road is, one, I'm sure it's very important to people who live there, but also there sometimes are hydroelectric dams being proposed, being built, or partway through being constructed on satellite maps. And it's kind of interesting to see, okay, who does that affect? Or, just having some kind of record of how that all connects to everything else in the region. Let's keep this one going. It doesn't know that there's a border there, so just kind of like keeps on doing its own thing. Yeah, this is an area I was mapping a little bit yesterday. And it's interesting because they have this road and this road look like they're connected, but when I zoom in, you'll see that they can't be connected whenever this river is flowing. Yeah, this just comes to an end here, and this just comes to an end here. Let's see if Bing has another. And again, so I'm sure that this might be this. I'm very tempted to draw this as being fordable with a car. So let me show you how I would do that. Is I click the stream and I click the other end here. Oh shoot, let me try that again. Okay. So click here, click the stream, click the road on the opposite end, escape. And then here, there's a so-called ford, and let's say that anyone can do it. I don't know for sure, but I feel like there must be some kind of way that motor vehicles cross over here. But let's continue the road down here. Oh, maybe I was thinking I would go that way, but clearly this one's the more major road. Switch back to the more recent Maxar images. This one I'll connect to the road network finally. That might be some interesting directions if you ever end up getting that. And the only reason I would consider going back and deleting that is if I had some ground proof, which is uncertain because those roads definitely do point to each other. I feel like that's very intentional. And the other thing would be if I see there's a bridge that's been built around here, then everyone would just take the bridge, and so that would be much less likely that people would be fording it. But we haven't seen a bridge since we were way up in that kind of larger, basically when this road split off the highway. So I imagine that it's actually being used this way. So since there's not as much stuff around, I'm going to zoom out, try to not give as much unnecessary detail. Wait for everything catch up. There we go. Now we're doing it. Now we've connected these two. And it's not really a loop. I mean, it's a loop in the sense you could drive around it, but there's so many different turns and exits that I've avoided that on both of these roads that, you know, I could be missing kind of the general, like, most common path that people take. Let me zoom in here just to make sure I get the city right. It looks to me like you have to do kind of a weird driving around thing here to get up to this level. And then they connect. Make this a little bit less jagged for a second. These are very, they really wanted to attach to the residential area. Normally I wouldn't want to do that, but that's where we're at. Okay, cool. Now let's see where this all is compared to the border, the international border. Yeah, it's actually pretty far away. Not like tens of miles, but definitely multiple miles away still. Let's continue this stream. I think it's interesting that, you know, the road has been following the stream for a while, but now I don't really see, at least on this side, it looks like the other side, the road continues. That kind of process. Oh, and here's a road they worked on a couple days ago then. So let's connect it. Yeah, this is how we're going to end this. We're going to connect this road back to some of the other roads which we had built. Yeah, I should zoom in and just see how it goes through town here. Okay, it has one of these hairpin turns. And then over here, let's make this a residential area while we're here. And am I happy with how this one is drawn? I feel like now it's more accurate. Well, let's keep it going. So there's one road that goes down, goes over that bridge, which is interesting, but I don't really want to do that because I want to connect back with the other stuff we have over here. Around this curve. Then we start to reconnect with everything over here. And we're back into this town here. Let's actually go ahead and do the bridge now. Remember, these are two separate roads, so I'm going to go ahead I might need to change a little bit about how this was drawn previously. No, I get it. They connect just at that point. Across here, something, they might go more directly, I'm not 100%. Then it curves into here. And then there's some kind of additional, actually this could be very different. It could go kind of northwest from there, and then you have to loop around. Let's take a look at Bing to see if they have this. You know, can't be sure. Maybe this is a case of it depends on the season, but just for the heck of it, I'm going to draw the long way around. Essential. Add the bridge back up here. Make sure that it clears the whole bridge area. Actually, let's check both of these out on Bing now. I feel like this is definitely exaggerated. This should be just, it's like its own separate driveway. So this road I'm going to tuck back in. And this road, yeah, I feel like that's essentially right. Because these, if these connected, we would see it around here, and we don't. And again, chances are that this road goes on for miles and miles before it reaches the border area. So let's just save it where it is now. Save trace roads and streams. And pretty soon that'll be visible on OpenStreetMap, and we can see, just get a sense of what seems to be like the missing connections with the rest of the map.